I spoke about cancel celebrities and who would you have who's a cancel celebrity or a criticized one promote what and why. Well, remember there's been many promotions with celebrities that have gone south or north for whichever way you're looking. For example, the Pepsi one was a big one with one of the Jenners. I forgot which one already. But this one is a new one which, consists of one person and one company. Both people clash on different ways. And let's just say both of the fans of either or are not getting along with each other, and therefore it led to this beverage not being bought or sold very much the Memorial Day weekend. I'll go into that right after I ask Justin, because he's got a lot for me. I'm excited to hear your answers.
I got a list. A list of items that I would not want celebrities to sell.
Okay.
Dead or alive. Let's start off with John F. Kennedy.
Okay. JFK.
A line of convertibles.
A line of convertibles.
Okay.
Starting off strong.
Let's stick with the cars.
Okay.
Paul Walker seatbelt brand.
Oh.
This is going hard. You're going hard in the paint already.
Oh, speaking of that, I heard his brother just named his new baby after him.
Oh.
That's sweet.
That's beautiful. Let's move on to O.J. Simpson's knife sharpenings.
Oh, God, no.
You know, they have the guy that goes around town. You guys have the guy, you have the ice cream man, right? And then you have the guy that comes around that just sharpens knives. Is that only in my town?
I think that's just
Is that real?
That's a real thing.
Never seen that.
No way. I've never seen that in my life.
I swear to God, it's a real thing.
That's definitely just you, Justin.
No.
And O.J. Simpson's going to be running this new vehicle. Alec Baldwin bulletproof vests.
Oh.
I got Chris Benoit family therapy session. I got Donald Trump. He's gonna, you know how cats sort of like run away from people, and like I had a neighbor, right?
Yeah.
His cat ran away, and the cat was lost. So if you have like a cat grabbing device, I think Trump would be a good spokesperson for that.
Interesting.
My final.
I don't want to ask why.
I think we all know why.
I think we know that
Yeah,
answer.
we know. Trust me.
Do you know Frank?
I think so. I'm not saying it, though.
And then my final answer is I love apple juice. Big fan of Mott's apple juice. And I feel like if R. Kelly was the spokesperson for Mott's apple juice.
Apple juice?
Yeah.
Well, Justin, I'm not surprised. All right,
Those are my answers.
you failed to disappoint. You failed to disappoint. That was a great job. Sandy, I'll be surprised if you top any of those answers. But go right ahead. I'm giving the floor to you next.
Honestly, I don't think I can top them.
No. I wouldn't even try.
You know what I do want a celebrity to promote though? I need Azalea Banks on a late night show.
Who the hell's that?
You don't know who that is?
No. Iggy Azalea, you mean?
No,
Who's
it's the
Azalea
one.
Banks?
She was fighting Iggy Azalea. Actually, I forgot why.
Azalea Banks. Is this the Catch Me Outside girl?
She called her her albino child that she randomly gave birth to in a prehistoric African village during Pangea.
Wow.
Yeah, the way that she words things.
So you would have her promote what again? I'm sorry.
I want her to be on a late night show.
A late night show. Okay, so a late night show is your answer?
Yes.
Okay, hold on one second. What the heck, Sandy? I asked one thing of you. All right,
Wow.
product. I asked you for a product or a service. You said late night show.
That's technically a product.
I'll give you one more.
Wow.
One more of these. Hold on.
Wow.
And I'll give you one of these. Hold on. Shut up! That's for you, Sandy.
Wow.
You failed me.
I feel very hurt right now.
Want some apple juice?
You want some apple juice?
Not really.
R. Kelly's brand.
But Sandy, I'll take your answer and I'll raise you a new one, all right? You explained to me who Azalea Banks was. You introduced me to a new person, and so I thank you for that, for the information.
Okay.
I didn't know that before.
You're welcome.
Let's go on to Addison.
All right.
Addison, what cancel celebrity would you have or criticized person would you have?
I have two of the same of Justin, but different brand things. I got O.J. Simpson for a fashionable glove brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. I don't know if the gloves ever fit his hand, though.
Exactly. But they come in all different sizes.
Nice.
Kevin Spacey runs for office. That's a boring one. Alec Baldwin, gun safety info ad.
Okay.
I figured he could work with Kevin Spacey as, like, an NRA manager or something. And I have Jeffrey Epstein for steady cables.
Jeez.
Steady cables.
All right. Well, those were all very great answers, Addison. You took it the same route that Justin did, I see. And the reason why I'm bringing this all up again is because this company and this star have came together for a collab, and no one could be more upset. And it's leading to this beverage not being sold anywhere. Does anyone take a guess what the beverage is?
Is it the Bud Light thing still?
Whoa. Maybe.
Is it really still that? I hope it's not that.
Frank, you're up next.
Yep, I got I'm gonna go with Morant, the guy from the
Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant, if you will.
To promote, pretty much what
JTA,
pretty much like gun stuff, like ammunition.
Okay.
Shooting ranges.
You'd have him promote gun safety.
The store from GTA.
Yeah. Well.
Ammunition.
I didn't even mean to say it like that, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think this guy's been caught twice with a firearm on Instagram Live, so I think he'd be good for. Well, probably not the best option for that because obviously he's not safe. But I'd go with that. I'd also go Chris Brown for anti-domestic violence ad because that I would never want him to see that.
Magic Johnson condoms.
Oh man.
For sticking with basketball players.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got here for me.
All right, good answer, guys.
Wouldn't want to see those two.
I love your answers. Good job all together. Now, excuse me. Unfortunately, Justin did call it right. It was Bud Light. But the reason why I'm bringing it up once again, because I know this happened last week, is because people are now thinking about how this one incident of Bud Light. I said, have you heard of this? Does anyone else know about this? I know Justin asked, and do you know what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
so basically, there was this influencer, Dylan Mulvaney, who is a trans influencer.
I love her.
She decided to partner up with Bud Light, and it led to a lot of turmoil, and everyone left the Bud Light behind.
Why is she on Bud Light? Like, Bud Light typically never has people on their cans. Like, what is the purpose? Like, who is she?
So it's a very anti-Bud Light video, and there's a 12-pack moldering on a store shelf. All over these store shelves, Bud Light was left behind over this weekend. And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because, I mean, we look at Pride Month and what it brings, and it brings a lot of, rainbow-colored products that everyone thinks they could cash on because it's Pride Month. And so everyone's saying that now with this situation that happened before Pride Month, is this going to be, a little bit less going on since this led to Bud Light being dropping in sales. And
I just don't understand, like, who is this person? Like, why not pick somebody like a Caitlyn Jenner, somebody that was an Olympian, somebody that has done something with their life?
Sandy, you know who this person
Who is this person?
Sandy,
you said you love this person.
Yeah,
who is it?
Sandy, who is this? Dylan Mulvaney, right?
I've never heard of this person until Bud Light.
Is it a TikTok star?
They're a trans activist, and they were also on Broadway.
Oh, Broadway. You see, Justin?
But like, how does that translate to alcohol? What was the reasoning behind this? It's all just a marketing ploy to get controversy because controversy sells cans.
But how do the Jenners relate to Pepsi?
Good question.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Exactly. So why do you need an explanation as to why Dylan needs to be on Bud Light?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that, to be honest with you. I'd have to think.
Great job, Sam. That's crazy. All right, well, stumped on that one. But anyway, so...
Well, I guess because, like, Kendall Jenner is, like, an attractive young girl who's an influencer when this person is somebody that nobody's heard of. If you ask 1,000 people, 999 of them are going to have no idea who Dylan Mulvaney is or whatever the hell the person is.
A lot of people do know about Dylan, though. Dylan
not a Jenner levels of popularity.
Unfortunately, I'm not aware with Dylan.
That would be my answer. No one knows who that person is, where Kendall Jenner, I think, is the most... has the most Instagram followers in all of Instagram. So that would be the answer that I would give.
Well,
but also when you put in the Jenners, you're making a lot less of a statement than if you were adding Dylan. Because what have the Jenners really done? I
don't like them at all. I'm not saying I like them.
Well, yeah, no, of course, but they don't really stand for anything. If anything, they just stand for that luxury life that they've been given. And I'm not going to say that they don't do any work because that would be a lie. But no matter what, like out of all of us in this room, if we ended up combining our incomes by the end of our lives, it would be nowhere close to the Jenners. But at least with Dylan, for one, they were on Broadway, and two, they're a trans activist. And being trans, especially today, is very, very dangerous. And the fact that...
one of the biggest dangers when it comes to the LGBT community, I would say, right?
Yeah, and the fact that she's able to be openly herself and the fact that she's been able to be so successful is a really inspirational, and it's a really strong thing. And it sucks that... It sucks that Bud Light ended up losing revenue, but I do defend that you vote with your dollar. But still, it's much more of a statement to add Dylan onto Bud Light than it would be to add, like, the Jenners onto Pepsi.
Now, do you feel as if, though, maybe, because when I think Bud Light and Budweiser, I think, like, very much, like, South America and, like, just, you know, I don't think the type of same direction where I think with Dylan. I feel like if Dylan was to promote something more like that's more free thinking alcohol, because like I just feel like Bud Light's just gross in my opinion. I don't know. I just feel as if though like it doesn't. It's like different people, like different audiences.
The demographic for Budweiser and Bud Light, you typically would not be too kind to that.
Yeah, I don't know why that route was chosen. I would love to have been in the boardroom when this decision was made.
So I feel like Bud Light just like did a terrible job for Dylan in my opinion, because I felt like, you know, they should have saw this coming. Like, you know, their demographic isn't very much, you know, open and like, you know, very much like current with the times. And so, you know, I didn't have anything wrong with Dylan promoting it. I just, you know, felt as if though like Bud Light should have seen like this might cause some turmoil, which it did.
Course.
You know,
Well, controversy creates cash, and maybe now
You think that was on purpose?
Maybe
You think they
now it's not working well, but when they get rid of this person on their can, sort of like in the mid 80s, they had a new formula for Coca-Cola, and once that new formula came out, it tanked, and Coca-Cola sales plummeted. And then a couple months later, they said, "Oh, we're bringing back the old formula," and the sales were higher than ever. So maybe like 4 months from now, they'll be like, "We're getting rid of this. We're not having."
Well, we'll see about that. I'm not sure, because people were really upset. Like I saw so many videos online of people like
with the Bud Light thing.
Yeah, with the Bud Light
Yeah,
thing.
Kid Rock was like shooting Bud Light cans.
Yeah, people were just out in their backyard shooting
but-
Bud Light cans. Someone else was running them over with an excavator.
But also, that's what I don't understand though, because these people are literally buying Bud Light just to be like, "See, Bud Light, I don't support what you're doing."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
still
too.
contributed.
You bought, like, I saw a video of someone running over like several cases of them. Like there was like hundreds of Bud Light cans that they just ran over. You bought all that, so
Yeah, so it's literally just
so
redundant.
technically you're not boycotting anything.
You're not boycotting anything. You're just running over a bunch of Bud Light cans. Now you just wasted a bunch of alcohol.
What I've noticed is this nation is more divided than ever, because I mean, if we look at Disney, who's taking a massive hit from the from their demographic of Republicans, because they've gone all about like, you know, making woke movies and having including inclusivity, which is all great things. But some people who were a fan of Disney are no longer signing with Disney, because you have the whole thing with Florida going on, where they aren't with the mayor of Florida. I mean,
Governor.
the governor of Florida, and there's that whole debacle going on where the governor is very right wing. And so it's very interesting to see what goes on from now, because it feels like companies have to really choose sides here or have a very fine line in the middle, and it's just like all thin water, all thin ice. You know, it's very interesting to see what happens now with companies, judging by this Bud Light scenario, because this was way bigger of a deal than it should have ever been.
Do we know if Budweiser, like regular Budweiser, did their sales go up?
They're the same company.
I know, but I feel like, you know, people are. Oh, I'm not getting Bud Light, but I'll get the regular diesel.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know for a fact about that, but yeah, that's just with the whole article there, and I'm trying to hear you guys' opinions on it, and I felt like we had a great discussion about this. And
I know a person that does not drink Bud Light now because of this.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
A guy in my bowling league. A guy in my bowling league. He literally started screaming, "None of that gay stuff!" And I'm like, "Dude,
Wow.
what is wrong?"
Wait, in the bowling alley?
In the bowling alley.
bowl, though,
he's like,
N300 or what?
"I want a Yingling." Now he drinks Yingling.
Did he scream that after he got a strike?
No, he's not the best bowler.
That's terrible, though.
Yeah, I was very shocked. And
How are you going to be how are you going to be homophobic and a bad bowler? Like, pick a struggle.
Well, in these bowling leagues, I'm sure after you said that, there was a few other people who were like, yeah, high-fiving him on the
It
way
was
out.
awkward because, like, you don't even know if the waitress that is taking this order is a lesbian or not.
Yeah,
You have no
literally.
idea.
Yeah, you don't know. There might be some people.
Well, the guy next to me in my league is gay.
Yep.
He's a friend of mine. He's
Jeez.
extremely gay. Like, he's like very flamboyant, wears Britney Spears shirts, stuff like that. And it's like you're just like screaming that right next to him. Mm-hmm. It was very awkward to say
That's
the
messed
least.
It's gonna be very interesting what happens, like moving on forward, just like judging on like this whole Bud Light debacle. What else happens this June? Hopefully nothing bad. Like this is all very.
I think it could have went. I think it could have been done better by Bud Light. I think, like I said, and maybe Sandy knows who this person is, but maybe take somebody that is more mainstream, somebody that is easier, I guess, to accept, somebody that is, I don't know, because Caitlyn Jenner's kind of a bad person also these days. I can't really think of any other famous transgender people that mainstream people would know. Because Caitlyn Jenner,
she's horrible.
Caitlyn Jenner killed somebody.
She's
People forget
horrible.
about that.
I'm not.
Caitlyn Jenner ran someone over.
Yeah, Caitlyn
did
Jenner
she?
is legitimately a really, really bad person.
I've never heard of that before.
Especially for the trans community. She's horrible. She's what a lot of people like to call a token trans.
Oh, yeah,
I
didn't
guess,
she-
where she spreads a lot of anti-trans rhetoric, and I'm not saying that she can't have her own opinion, but it's gotten to the point where she spreads misinformation first because she knows that that's going to get people to support her instead of if she were to,
Yeah, I don't understand that. I heard a while ago that she recently agreed with like the bans on athletics.
Oh
in
yeah,
high
I
school.
agree with that too.
But a lot of people, I read comments online with people so shocked after that because you think someone like her would support, those people, right?
Yeah, it's just her because she knows that if she were to be on the opposing side, if she's like the token trans, then people will support her more.
What, do you guys
And
agree
honestly,
that women, that I don't agree with that at all, that
I
if
feel
somebody's a trans athlete, they are built differently, their genetics are different.
It's a
so if they're
very-
going to compete in an athletic competition, they're going to kick their ass.
It's very nuanced because a lot of people, they like to think, oh, but what if somebody's only been on estrogen for 2 months? What a lot of people don't realize is the effect that HRT has on your body, especially if you've taken it for a very long time. There are a lot of trans athletes who do want to participate in the gender that they were born as in those brackets, but there are also trans people who have literally been trans since they were early teenagers, some of them even before puberty. So how come if they went through puberty as the gender that they desire, why would they participate with, like, let's say that if it was a male to female and they went through puberty as female, why would they participate with men? Because that estrogen will have an effect on their body in the way that they grow up.
I don't know the science 1,000%, but it's just if their bone structure is different, it's not fair for the female athletes that have to compete with somebody that is built differently.
I feel like this is a really like difficult topic to talk about because the science is everywhere, the facts are all over the place. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not these days.
Yeah, it's very nuanced, and a lot of people don't treat it with like the specificity that it deserves, because it does deserve a lot of that. Because sure, like there could be a situation where somebody just says that they're trans just to participate, but again, that won't be every single trans athlete. And to say that every single trans athlete will be stronger in that effect it's just not right, because that's not true. Again, estrogen has a very big effect on your body, especially if you've taken it for years and years, especially if you started taking it before you started going through puberty or you took puberty blockers. Like, that will have a very big effect. And honestly, like, I just think that we need to treat it with a lot more, and it shouldn't be a black and white issue. It shouldn't be like, no, I don't believe in it, or yes, I do believe in it. I believe that we really need to start looking into this critically, so then we can actually give people the right shot that they deserve.
Like educating people
Yeah.
better,
I'm
right?
right there with you, Sandy. I feel like it shouldn't be black or white, but there's one thing that should be black or white, and it's the fact of whether or not Dylan's there or not. Bud Light is actually atrocious and pretty garbage alcohol, pretty weak stuff.
Water.
So it should
I don't
stay
know, I
there
don't
in the
drink
shelves. Just saying.
I'm a
That's
Corona
one,
guy.
It's one thing that should stay black or white. Bud Light's pretty trash. It needs a new recipe. That's all I gotta say about
I'm
that.
a Mick.
Nobody thought